We'll discuss the obligation of eating in a Sukkah during Sukkot, during the 7 days, the 8 days Yan Chutz La'aretz of Sukkah. When is it obligatory to eat? When one must eat in the Sukkah or must eat in order to eat in the Sukkah? There's situations where a person is, if he wants to eat, he's obligated to eat in the Sukkah. In the situation where a person is exempt from eating in the Sukkah, but is praiseworthy. So let's begin with the initial obligation which we have on the first night of Sukkot. It's undisputed that there's an obligation for a person to eat in the Sukkah, similar to the way we eat a matzah on Pesach. It's obligatory in the 15th night. The Gemara learns this from the Psukim, 15:15, and therefore one has to eat a kazait, minimum of a kazait, in a Sukkah on the night of the first night of Sukkot. However, let's learn this principle. During the rest of Sukkot, and even on the first day, one has to eat a minimum of 54 grams if one wants to make the bracha of lishev basukah. That means, if someone wants to eat bread over 54 grams, he has an obligation all through Sukkot to eat it in a Sukkah and to make the bracha of lishev basukah. Shekideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishev basukah. So that should be done all days of Sukkot. 8th day, obviously, we sit because of Sveka Diyama, because we treat it like a doubtful day. So we eat in the Sukkah on Shmini Atzeret, but we don't make bracha. For the rest of the days of Sukkot, if you have 54 grams of bread, then you have to make the bracha of lishev basukah. On the first night of Sukkot again, you have to eat in the Sukkah. Because if you have to fulfill the mitzvah, like similar to the night of Pesach, we have to eat matzah. Similar to that, we have to eat in the Sukkah on the first night. The rest of Sukkot, if we want to have full 54 grams, we have to eat it in the Sukkah, and we have to make a bracha of lishev basukah. If one is having mezonot, i.e. cakes or anything baked, and he's having less than a quantity which you'd have to make birkat hamazon for, that means from 165 grams, which is 3 beitzim, to 216 grams, then obviously you're getting into an area of doubt. So you'd have to be particular to eat it in the Sukkah, but you still wouldn't make lishev basukah unless you're having more than 216 grams. Then you'll be able to make a bracha of lishev basukah, because it is as if you're having 54 grams of bread. It's called keviut seudah. Here you're fixing a meal on the mezonot bread, on the mezonot cakes. And therefore, you'd have to make lishev basukah if it's over 216 grams. However, if it's less than that, you should eat it in the Sukkah from 165 to 216 out of doubt, because there's an argument in Halacha whether the amount of keviut seudah is 3 beitzim or 4 beitzim. So therefore, should be eaten in the Sukkah, as a doubt that it might be an obligation to eat in the Sukkah, but you don't make bracha unless it's over 216. If it's less than 165, one may eat it outside the Sukkah. Even though you're making ala mechia on it, you can eat it outside the Sukkah. If one is having cooked food, cooked 5 grains, i.e. porridge, or cooked food, daisa, what we call, then a person is obligated to have it in the Sukkah once he's having more than 54 grams of it. But we don't make bracha lishev basukah on it because of a certain different argument. So therefore one should eat it in the Sukkah, has to eat it in the Sukkah, but don't make lishev basukah on it. So that means this becomes a little bit more stringent than mezonot bread. Because on this you fix your meal sometimes on porridge, but you can never make birkat hamazon on it, because it's cooked. Yet, you're obligated to eat in the Sukkah if it's over 54 grams. Unlike mezonot bread, that up to 165 grams, you don't have to eat it in the Sukkah. Fruits, rice, chicken, meat, vegetables cooked, don't have to be eaten in the Sukkah, as it's not considered keviut seudah in halachic terms. a person is praiseworthy if he even water he's particular to eat in the sukkah. That means there's great room and you want to be called praiseworthy by the Chachamim, even if you are particular, even water not to drink outside the sukkah, harei ze meshubach. It's like you have in Yetziat Mitzrayim, in Pesach night, kol hamarbe lesaper b'sipur Yetziat Mitzrayim, harei ze meshubach. Whoever's particular not to even drink water outside the sukkah is called meshubach by the Chachamim. He's praiseworthy. There are some opinions which hold, if you're having a fixed meal with bread, more than 54 grams, that halachically you have to have it in the sukkah, you make the bracha of l'sheva sukkah. So whatever you're having in the course of that meal, even water, you should try and be particular not to have it outside the sukkah because they're all part of the fixed meal. So here water will be more stringent than regularly, that you don't have to have it in the sukkah, or potatoes or any other foods which don't generally need. But because you're having it within a meal, a seudah, then some opinions holds you should have to be careful to have it in the sukkah, like the bread that you're having in the sukkah.